friends, welcome again to my channel where we discuss the science behind this world of medicine. So today we are going to discuss a few important questions with respect to COVID-19 vaccine. What are these questions? Question number one, what is the efficacy of a vaccine? The figures, the percentages that are released in the magazine or newspaper for different vaccines. What does this actually mean? The second is, should you get a COVID vaccine done or not? The third question is, if yes, which vaccine should you take? The fourth question is, can you have COVID after a COVID vaccine? The fifth question is, why are some people having fever after COVID vaccine? So let us analyze each of these questions one by one. The first question is, what is the efficacy of a COVID-19 vaccine or a COVID vaccine? You might have referred a lot of newspapers and magazines printing out the efficacy data of different vaccines. Like for example, Covishield says a efficacy of 62%, Covaxin refers to a efficacy of 81%, and Pfizer has its own vaccine which refers to a efficacy of 95%. A lot of people believe that if the efficacy of the vaccine is 62%, that means after having vaccine, there are 38% chances of still having COVID. That is completely not true. That is completely false statement, and this is a misconception, because in general population which is not vaccinated, amongst a population of 100,000 or 1 lakh people, there is a chance of COVID of only 1% in non-vaccinated population. Then how can this chance be more in case of a vaccinated population? So what does this 62% efficacy or 81% efficacy mean? This 62% efficacy means that amongst a population that is vaccinated, there are chances of having vaccine protection is 62% of this 1%, meaning that if in a population of 100,000 or 1 lakh people, 1,000 people were getting infected, once that 1 lakh people are vaccinated, only 38% of that 1,000 will have a chance of COVID. That means from 1,000, that figure will come to 380 and 620 people are protected. This means the efficacy data, and which is the highest for a Pfizer vaccine. So I hope this is clear what exactly is meant by efficacy. Now there is a term that also comes, what is the efficiency or effectiveness of the vaccine? The efficiency or the effectiveness of the vaccine is based on a clinical trial that is done on general population in the real population. The efficacy data that I just discussed is a sample data from a trial population, from a sample population, whereas the effectiveness data or the efficiency data of a vaccine is released when the trials or the actual vaccine has been administered to general population in the real world scenario. That is when the actual effectiveness data of a vaccine is released. So right now we only have a efficacy data which is based on a sample study of a short interval of time. Now the second question is, should you get a COVID vaccine done when the efficacy is so low? My suggestion would be yes. If given an opportunity, you should get your COVID vaccine, COVID shots done. Why? Because something is better than nothing. As they say, this is an old saying that there is nothing available, there is no protection available for COVID. The best you can do is something that is available, and which is in form of a COVID vaccine. Now the third question is, if you should get a COVID vaccine done, which is the COVID vaccine that you should prefer? So in my opinion, the efficacy data is released for a very small population for a very small period of time. Generally, these are referring to phase 3 clinical trials, which in actual scenario would take about 5 years to 10 years with a large sample of population over a longer period of time with subsequent analysis. This is when the true efficacy of a vaccine will be released. And hence, this efficacy ratio or the efficacy percentage of each vaccine will keep on changing as these companies, manufacturers of these vaccines, keep on getting more data with reference to this COVID vaccine. So the efficacy, which is 62% right now for a Covishield vaccine, may increase to 70 or 80 after 6 months based on the studies done in the last 6 months. So this is why I say that whatever vaccine you take, whether it's Covishield, Covaxin, or any other third vaccine that is released, or if you are an international country, then you should take your vaccine shot for COVID that is available in the market if given an opportunity, and don't worry about which kind of vaccine you are taking. And yes, obviously, being an Indian, I would say if you refer to Make in India, yes, Covaxin is 100% truly Indian origin vaccine. And yes, if you take that, you're promoting an Indian product and you are promoting Make in India and you're promoting what our government of India says. Now, the fourth question is, can I have COVID after a COVID vaccine? So this is a very important question. A lot of people get confused that after having a COVID vaccine, people may get COVID. Okay, this is completely not true. In fact, for any vaccine that you take, you cannot get that disease. The reason is the vaccine injects a dead virus or a protein of the virus. I'm talking this in a very simplistic terms. Technically, this is not the term I would use, but to explain you, it's a dead virus or a protein of the virus that projects, the body perceives that injection of the vaccine as a virus, but it is not a true virus, and it hosts an immune response. It hosts a fighting response. The body hosts a fighting response against the vaccine shot, which is either a dead virus or only a protein of the virus. So hence, with a COVID vaccine, you can never have COVID. The fifth question is, why do some people have fever after COVID vaccine? So the reason is because the vaccine has dead virus or a protein or a substance that appears to the body as COVID virus. The body hosts an immune response, a fighting response to that COVID vaccine, and some pyrogens are released in this process. With pyrogens are basically fever causing agents which actually cause a fever for 1 or 2 days when you take COVID vaccine shots or COVID vaccine. If you want to refer exactly how these pyrogens are released and what happens when an infection or a vaccine shot is given and why fever comes up, please refer to my video on fever and the immune response. You can find a link to that video in the below description. But as of now, you need to remember that because pyrogens from the body are released during the fighting response to that COVID vaccine, and hence you have fever. And this also means that your body is fighting against that COVID vaccine and producing antibodies. And hence the result of the COVID vaccine and the true requirement of a COVID vaccine and the true reason why COVID vaccine is given is so that your body can have pre-made antibodies within your system so that when COVID actually comes in, these antibodies can fight it off immediately. That is what is the true purpose of having a COVID vaccine or any other vaccine for that matter. I hope, friends, this video answers a few questions for you related to COVID-19 vaccine or the COVID vaccine. If there are any further questions, please do not forget to mention those in the comment section and I would be happy enough to answer them for you. I hope this video was useful. If yes, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to watch my next video. Thank you.